Hello and welcome to the Kristin Carrera podcast. I am Kristin. Welcome back if you've been following along. And if you are new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, follow along, and comments. You know that I love to hear where you are on your journey. Are you on a carnivore journey? Are you just on a nutritional journey trying to figure out what works for your body, what works best for you? Leave that in the comments below. And if you have any questions as well, leave those in the comments. If you are a private person and you want to privately DM me, head over to my Instagram or on Nostr. All of my information is in the description below, so go ahead and check that out. Today, I want to reflect a little bit on my journey. We are in November, 11 months in on this carnivore journey of mine, and I started January 1st. That was my goal. My goal was I'm going to start January 1st and I'm going to do 30 days carnivore. I'm going to see how I feel. This had been months and months coming, probably even years without me even realizing it, when my husband first showed me the Joe Rogan podcast with Dr. Sean Baker. And we watched the podcast and I absolutely thought that it was insane to go carnivore. I thought that this was a absolutely crazy idea. I had already been in a fitness kind of world where I do home workouts. I am a coach. I helped with nutrition, the plans that we had with the company that I work with. And so I really truly believed in a quote unquote balanced diet. I can have my croqueta, but I can also be healthy, right? That was my mentality. That was what I wanted to believe because I love food. I'm Hispanic and we live for our food. And I know that food is fuel, but I absolutely love, not only enjoy eating, but I love cooking. And so cooking these different dishes, learning to make different dishes, cooking dishes that my grandfather used to make me, brought me joy. And so I wanted to believe so much in this you can have your cake and eat it too type of mentality, and still be healthy and still be fit. So there's two different things. There's two different worlds. There is the world of I can eat my carbs and I can lose weight. Is this true? Yes, it is. You can eat carbs and you can lose weight. I have done it before. I did what was portion control, right? Kind of like a calorie deficit. And so learning what to eat throughout the day, depending on your body and depending on your fitness level, all of that taken into consideration, you can lose weight. Now, I will say that you can't outrun your diet. There are some people that I know to this day that work out twice a day, and they are still overweight because they don't control the eating. They do not control their nutrition. Nutrition is key. And I've told every client of mine this, and I will yell it out to the top of the mountain. Nutrition is key, not only in losing weight, but in feeling healthier and getting healthier. And I've learned even more about nutrition since learning about carnivore. So although I thought carnivore was crazy, and I admit it, I was wrong, I took a while to finally decide to do carnivore. My husband had been going at it for me a while. You should try keto. You should possibly do carnivore, see if it helps with your depression and your anxiety. I've heard so many benefits. And I just heard like the Charlie Brown, wah, 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 right? Because I didn't want to limit the delicious foods that I love to eat, especially pasta. That is definitely my go-to. And so it took me a while to finally say, I need to do something. I need to do something because the reason I got into coaching and became a wellness coach was when I decided to start working out from home and changing my nutrition and learning to eat healthier, because I knew that I needed a change back then. And this was a lifesaver for me. It helps me get through those days that I really did not want to get out of bed. It helped me get through the days that all I did was cry. It helped me get through those anxiety days that I felt this anguish in my heart that I could not get rid of, it helped me push through those hard days. It really did. But it did not get rid of it. And yes, I talked to my doctors. I talked to my doctors and told them how I felt. I talked to multiple doctors. I talked to my OBGYN after having my kids, and they told me that it was just postpartum anxiety and that it was absolutely normal and that it would pass. I was told by my regular physician that all my blood work was fine. So they don't know why I was feeling the way that I was feeling. And I was told by my thyroid doctor at first that the anxiety could possibly be from my thyroid when I found out I had Graves' disease. And once I was put on medication and my thyroid levels were normal, they said, well, the anxiety can't be coming from your thyroid because your levels are normal now being on the medication. So it's got to be something else. But it's got to be something else didn't lead to another conversation. It didn't lead to what can it be? Could it just be mental, like a mental health issue? Could it be something else in my body that could be causing depression and anxiety? And that conversation was never had. I was just left alone. Like, imagine yourself left alone in this room where the walls are closing in on you and you feel like, I'm depressed, I have anxiety, my hair is thinning, I'm tired all the time, so tired that I want to take a nap midday, I have brain fog, my hands are starting to feel like I have arthritis, I have a bulging disc in my neck and a herniated disc in my low back, and now the doctor is telling me that I have Graves' disease. It felt like my world was literally just falling apart, because I did give myself a pity party. I was like, why me? Why is something else on top of everything else? Why do I have this? Why is my body, why does my body not love me? Or why is my body doing this to me? And sometimes you need to reflect on that, because if your body is doing something that you don't necessarily like, it's making you sicker, what are you doing to contribute to your body reacting this way? Okay. And that's something that took me a really long time. And it wasn't that I was doing anything to my body purposefully. My low back and my neck, for example, I was a cheerleader when I was in middle school, and I was the girl that they threw up in the air. And they dropped me not only once, but twice, where I thought that I broke my tailbone because it hurt so bad. And I truly believe that that contributed to a lot of my neck and low back pain. Then I did ice skating when I was in high school, and I fell on my tailbone again. So these are things that are going to cause neck and back pain, right? But why was I feeling fatigued? Why was I brain fogged? What brought on this thyroid issue with Graves' disease? Microscopic colitis is something else that I have. That was the other thing that I had since my late 20s. So all of these things just piling up. And I was just so tired, mostly of feeling depressed and having anxiety almost every single day, feeling tired every single day. And having now 3 babies that rely on me. And so my husband started Carnivore last October. And I said, I'm going to start low carb and start eliminating and have maybe like a carnivore dinner. And come January 1st, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, because what is the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't work. And I go back to eating the way I was doing and feeling the way that I was feeling and continuing to live life unhappy. But what is the best thing that can happen? The best thing that can happen is that all these testimonies that I've been reading and listening to about no longer feeling depressed, no longer having anxiety, no longer having brain fog or fatigue, getting off medications. Maybe it works. Maybe, just maybe, a lot of these scientific studies that we read, or what the FDA and the food industry wants to tell you is good for you or bad for you, are not always necessarily good or bad for you. So let's find what is good for you. And so I started to listen to more than just Dr. Sean Baker. I was listening to Paul Saladino, which was a little bit extreme for me. And then he shifted to more animal-based. And then I listened to Dr. Ken Berry and Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Ovadia. And I found out about Sally Norton and oxalates. And it was just like, boom, 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 boom. All this information. And it becomes overwhelming because now I'm reading every single label. I mean, I am like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Why? Literally, this is me reading labels. And it becomes overwhelming. But we also can't shut our eyes and live like this just because it's easy. And for me, because I was living with the depression and the anxiety and all those things that we just talked about, I needed to see if carnivore would work. So I started with a small goal, 30 days. I can do 30 days, right? If I can give birth to 3 kids, I can do 30 days of carnivore. And so those 30 days was a roller coaster. Those 30 days, I wanted to quit almost every single day. I had probably what was called the keto flu. I definitely had oxalate dumping. I had horrible bowel movements because of my microscopic colitis, on top of the fact that many people do get watery stools when going carnivore. I just felt like shit. Okay. You know me. This channel, if you've been following me, I am open, I am raw, I am honest with you. I felt like shit. And I wanted to quit 100 times. And you can go look at those videos. You can go check those out. I have days 1 through 100. I did a follow-up of my journal of the first 2 weeks that I did carnivore. I read you my journal, and I found out that I have a high histamine issue, so I can't have bone broth. When I went and reintroduced some fruit, I found out that I cannot do pineapple, that it causes inflammation in my hands and it gave me anxiety. I found out that I am it's legitimate that I have an allergy to seed oils, and people want to continue to tell you that seed oils are good for you and that they're not inflammatory. I literally get inflammation when I eat seed oils. I literally get anxiety. This was the size. Okay, can you see it? No joke. The smallest little piece of croqueta, because I wanted to try a little piece. And the next day I had full-blown anxiety. I had inflammation. I felt like shit. So when people tell you that doesn't exist, you really need to see what affects you. Maybe seed oils don't affect you. Maybe you're fine off them. That's fine. You do you. If you want to keep eating seed oils, poisoning yourself, that might be a harsh word, but you do you. And I'm going to do me. So when people come at me about seed oils and these type of things that they believe are not harmful to somebody, everybody is different. There's no one size fits all. I say it all the time. What works for me may not work for you, vice versa. And so I found these things out by going carnivore. These things that I would have never thought or imagined that the smallest little piece of croqueta would cause such harm to my body. And I've been slowly healing. I no longer have depression. The only time I feel a little bit of fatigue is because my electrolytes might be off that day. I haven't drank enough H2O. I don't have brain fog. I don't have the inflammation in my hands. I have so much more energy. My bowel movements took a long time. They kind of took a back seat when I went lion diet for 30 days, but they are starting to become normal again, which is huge for me. And overall, I'm happier. And that is like heaven. Imagine waking up and just not wanting to do your day, not wanting to go through your day, not wanting to go through the motions of the ocean, not wanting to spend time with your family. Imagine crying out of nowhere, literally just driving, feeling fine, and then just crying because of this emotion that takes over your body that you cannot control. And then all of a sudden, when I was going through Carnivore and looking at my journal and thinking about how I was feeling the last couple days, and I said, oh my God, I have not felt depressed for 2 whole days. That was amazing to me. I'm like, I got to keep going. I had heard that doing carnivore, you should at least do 60 to 90 days. So I said, okay, I'm going to set a small goal and I'm going to go to 60 days. And when I got to 60, I said 90. When I got to 90, I rounded it up to 100. And so on my personal journey, I have not been strict carnivore for months and months. I reintroduced fruits to going more animal based. I have done raw honey that I seem to be okay with. I do avocado every once in a while. And I do dairy on mine, and I also do coffee. And then I did do a strict lion diet challenge for 30 days, which I have days 1 through 30 videos that you can check out, along with recaps of week 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that did not make any significant difference. So I literally went back to carnivore on day 31, had my coffee, had my eggs, my bacon, and felt amazing. And now I'm dabbling where I have my dairy, I have my coffee. So normal basic carnivore with my coffee. And every once in a while, I will have a banana or an avocado. I add a little cacao. I make this absolutely delicious kind of like a pudding, but with whole milk yogurt. So good. The cacao is not the best to have all the time because it is a little bit of a higher oxalate. So definitely not carnivore. Yes, I know. I am just letting you know what I am doing. Again, I do not claim to do carnivore, strict carnivore 100%. I think that it is a great elimination diet to start with if you are looking to become healthier, and then slowly reintroduce foods to see what works for you and what doesn't. This kind of diet has helped so many people find out that they are allergic to gluten, or that they have an allergy like to pineapple or high histamine issue, right? So it is a great starter. Is it something that you can do long term? Yes. There are many people who do this long term and it works for them. But then there are people like me who really love food and just want to enjoy certain aspects of their life. And I want to see what works and what doesn't for me. So I slowly have been introducing different types of foods, trying to see what works for me, what doesn't. And for the most part, I am 90% carnivore. I think that this way of eating is the best way of eating. I think that this way of eating has helped me in ways that I would have never discovered otherwise, definitely by no means of the help of any doctors. And also with eating my quote unquote balanced diet, where I thought veggies first, protein after at times. And so I definitely learned a lot going through carnivore. And I think that we all just need to open our eyes, see what ingredients are in the foods that you are eating, and try to go to a more whole food type of nutritional eating. Learn what works for you. It's your life. Nobody else is living it but you. So find what works for you and stick to that. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let anybody else put you down for the way that you are eating. It is sad to see on social media all these people trying to get rid of seed oils and dyes and certain ingredients in our foods that our children are eating, and people just reluctantly arguing with you that this is not why we have an obesity problem, or this is not why we have an illness problem in our world. And I truly do believe that that is why. So again, do your research. I always list in my description. You can check out the doctors that I love to listen to. You can check them out as well. A lot of them cite scientific research. Sadly, there is not enough scientific research on carnivore due to the fact that doctors, FDAs, and stuff do not want to do these researches, because I truly believe, in my opinion, that the sicker people are, the more money those industries make, pharma and stuff. And so they do not want you to know that eating carnivore or eating a whole food based diet is going to do better for you and your body and your health than eating the standardized diet. And it's not just about your health physically, but mentally. Again, I was depressed for 8 years, and I no longer have that depression every single day. I feel amazing. I'm going to continue to feel amazing because I'm going to stick to the way that I know works for me. And will I enjoy something here and there? Yes. Will I find out if it does more harm than good? Yes. Like, will I have a piece of croqueta now knowing that I literally triggered my anxiety so bad? I will not, because it's not worth it to me. But I know that I can have one drink, hanging out with friends, and I will be fine. So again, your life, my life, find what works for you. And I promise you that if you are looking into starting the carnivore diet, it is a great, great way to start your health journey. I hope that this video helped you. Please make sure to follow, like, and share, and I will see you again on the next podcast. Have a great day.